Which actor portrayed a character so well that no other actor could ever replace them? Kathy Bates in Misery. Most of her roles are spot on though. Even as Mama in The Waterboy. Especially American Horror Story. Roanoke was hot butt garbage, but Kathy was by far the best part of that season. She also made me completely despise her existence in Coven. She is a master of her craft. Jeff Bridges, the dude. In a similar vein, John Goodman as Walter. I think John Goodman is one of the most consistently underrated actors currently alive, and perhaps ever. He has 0 Oscars, despite playing a multitude of incredible roles. This answer ties the whole thread together. Tim Curry, Dr. Frankenfooter. Sorry to all those who try. Tim Curry in Clue, Congo, the hotel guy in Home Alone 2. It doesn't matter what you follow the name Tim Curry with, it will always be the epitome of excellence. Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. I forget the name, but the actress who played the aunt in the 1950s Importance of Being Earnest delivered the line a handbar Ike. So iconically that every portrayal on stage or screen has been forced to decide to mimic or avoid it deliberately. Dame Edith Evans played Lady Bracknell in the 1952 film. In her prime she was called the best British actress of the 20th century. I know the line perfectly and I've never seen The Importance of Being Earnest. J.K. Simmons as John Jonah Jameson. So nice they cast him twice. And Cave Johnson. Christoph Waltz was fantastic as Hans Lander in Inglourious Basterds. Won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Arguably the best character in that film. What is great is we can see Christoph Waltz's range in real time in the farmhouse scene. He is charming, humorous, bubbly, albeit menacing, and then like flipping a switch goes stone cold and says, "You are sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?" Boom. Instant terror. Christoph Waltz is probably one of the most fantastic actors in our time. Can almost say the same for Django. Bryan Cranston as Walter White and Bob Odenkirk as Saul Goodman. It's pretty amazing how Bob Odenkirk managed to transition into a dramatic role for Better Call Saul after being mostly a comic relief side role. Can't believe I had to scroll this far for Breaking Bad. Julie Andrews as Maria in The Sound of Music. Raindrops on Roses, and Whiskers on Kittens. Also, Julie Andrews in Mary Poppins. Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow. Patrick Stewart as Picard. Professor X as well. Andy Serkis as Gollum and Christopher Lee as Count Dooku/Saruman. Good. Twice the pride, double the fall. Count Dooku. The whole cast of Elotra is perfect. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator. Funny part is that the role was originally offered to O.J. Simpson, but the director didn't see him as a violent murderer. Edit. A lot of people are saying James Cameron declined the rumor, but some are saying Schwarzenegger confirmed it. I just went off what I'd originally heard. And that one goes both ways. I can't imagine him as not Terminator. Even as governor he was the governator. Viggo as Aragorn and Ian McKellen as Gandalf. Edit. I must start disabling replies. It's an honor to have my top comment about Ilessar. Lord of the Rings is the best cast movies of all time for me. They could not have brought the books to life better. Can't believe how far I had to scroll before seeing Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano. And yes, I realize his son may end up playing a younger version of that character. But the middle-aged Tony could never be portrayed by anyone else. The role was originally offered to Steven Van Zandt, Silvio, who turned it down because he thought that role should go to a real actor. What a good call. Lorraine Bracco, Dr. Melfi, was also offered the role of Carmela, and she turned it down because she didn't want to get typecast as a mobster's wife after Goodfellas. She nailed the role of the therapist, and Edie Falco was amazing as Carmela, so that worked out amazing as well. I cannot believe I had to scroll this far down for this. This was the best acting in the best role in the best TV series of all time. Harrison Ford as Henry Indiana Jones Jr. Harrison Ford as anything. Indiana Jones? Check. Han Solo? Check. Han Solo again? Check. Definitely Hugh Laurie as House. I still find it so amazing that he held up a perfect fake American accent for that long. Also Hugh Laurie as Bertie Wooster, and Stephen Fry as Jeeves. James Earl Jones, voice of Darth Vader. No one else could be Mufasa either. I am going to cry so hard when he passes. Christopher Walken in the video Weapon of Choice. You mean Christopher Flyin? Alan Rickman as Snape. Alan Rickman as Marvin the Android. Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber. Alan Rickman as what's his name in Galaxy Quest. Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham. Robin Williams as the Genie. Yes, there was the Will Smith remake, but hear me out. No one in the world could replace the genius improvisational comedy that is the Robin Williams Genie. That's why they didn't have Will doing all the voices, jokes, and pop culture references that Robin did, because that kind of genie belongs to the one and only Robin Williams. Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer Simpson, has portrayed the genie in pretty much all media since Robin died. TV shows, Kingdom Hearts, etc. You will never ever recreate the magic that is Robin Williams' genie, but he actually captured the essence of it very well. He does a slight impression of Robin and nails the chaotic speaking patterns, believe it or not. Mandy Patinkin as Inigo Montoya. Also, Andre the Giant as Fezzik. Also, Cary Elwes as Westley. Also, Wallace Shawn as Vezina. Really, that whole movie is cast perfectly. Raul Julia as Gomez Adams. He and Angelica Houston were so perfect. Yeah. One of the reasons the series died with Adams' Family Reunion was because Tim Curry couldn't pull it off nearly as well as Julia. Alan Tudyk as Hey Hey. No one else could have made that character believable. Well, he did go to Juliet. Alan Tudyk as Wash and Alpha. Perfection. Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura. Jim Carrey as The Mask. Jack Gleason as Joffrey and Ewan Ryan as Ramsay in Game of Thrones. Anthony Starr as Homelander in The Boys. Pretty much every character from GOT. Charles Dance was perfect as Tywin. If we're talking GOT, then odds Peter Dinklage as Tyrion too. Ralph Fiennes as Herman Goethe in Schindler's List. Never hated a man more. Bravo Mr. Fiennes. Edit, yes I know it's a Mongoth, my mistake, it's been a few years since I've seen the film. You want to know how terrifying he was? A Jewish woman who survived the Holocaust started having a panic attack as soon as she saw him in uniform because he was the spitting image of the real Herman Goethe. The scene where the Jewish engineer explains exactly what is wrong, ridicules her for being educated like Karl Marx, executes her without any hesitation, then makes his troops build it exactly the way she said anyway, and states we're not going to have arguments with these people, is chilling. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. I've seriously seen Tombstone so many times and his performance makes it a great movie every time. I'm your Huckleberry. I'm in my prime. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.